All right, we are live. Sunny Days Media Football Show. We are back, year 3. It's been a little while. Haven't done a show. I flat out haven't done a podcast in general since probably April. Zach, I know you've been doing a lot of stuff with CPNY. A lot of
have
content.
you? Oh, good for you.
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
Did not know that. I've also soft retired from the content game. The New York Rangers were not worth a goddamn shit, so I enjoyed my offseason after the Super Bowl. That's it. Mets at least give you something to talk about.
Yeah, they've been good as of late.
They have. But boys, we're here. We're here for football. Football started yesterday. Some things change, some things stay the same. Death taxes and the Cowboys losing week 1, unless apparently they're playing the Giants.
Cover the spread.
Beat them.
Cover the spread.
They did cover the spread. Well, they actually, yeah, that's right.
Not well. No, they covered the spread. The spread was 8.5.
Yeah.
That's a big number for an in-division game first week of the season. I was shocked at how large that spread was.
So I'm getting. Oh, gee, my mic level is so high. Whatever.
No, we hear you. You're good.
You're good.
I'm trying to be a numbers guy these days, and there were very interesting stats thrown around yesterday regarding the opening night game. The defending Super Bowl champs lose outright 60% or 60% of the time, and the dog covers 70% of the time. We'll get more into the numbers going into tonight as well. But I saw that and immediately realized, all right, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be dog shit. I know a lot of people are high on Dak to have a bounce back year. They added Pickens, who didn't really do too much for them last night, but I think we saw it last night. That kid, the running back, what's his name? Javonte Williams. Is it Javonte Williams?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Javonte Williams from the Broncos.
It is the same guy from the Broncos. I thought it was. He's electric. If you take the leash off that kid, he can do you some good. And we saw that last night. So I wouldn't expect him to be in the mix all that much, but they can definitely be a shake-up team, you know?
Cowboys are in a weird spot. Kenny Clark looked awesome last night. Nose tackle for them. He looked fantastic. I think they're in a weird spot. They paid Dak. I don't really see it. I never really shouldn't say I never saw it. Early on, I really liked Dak. Now that he's got almost 10 years on. I think this is his 10th season. This is like his 9th.
Yes, 10th year.
Yeah, it is. It is. His second season was the year they won the NFC East and the Giants were in second, right? Yeah.
I don't know what the second place was, but no, I think Dak's first year. I think they won. I think they won like 13 games. It doesn't. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Yeah. Dak's yet to win a playoff game. The Cowboys in our lifetime. Well, I shouldn't say in our lifetime. Since like 2000, have not won a playoff game, or maybe they've won one.
They did the year they won the game of the scandal with the Packers, the catch no catch, where Dez went down to the ground and then the ball popped out. They called it no.
No. The Cowboys lost that game. They had won.
They did, but they won the game before.
Against Detroit. They're not in a purgatory. Like when I think of like football purgatory, I think of the Steelers, and I guess I don't have a lot of opportunities to do this, but I will lick my own asshole here. TJ Watt should have been traded last deadline, and I think that this is going to prove true this year when the Steelers are I think they'll be worse with Rodgers under center than they were.
So do I, but I want to get into that tomorrow.
Yeah. But the Cowboys are just like one of those teams that I supported the idea of them trading away Micah Parsons. I actually think that makes sense because I don't think they're winning anything anytime soon. Accumulate your picks, reset your cap. But I think where they really fucked up was paying Dak last year. And I feel like as good as Dak looked last night, because he did look good.
Very good. He looked very good.
That whole offense looked good, and they were keeping up with Philly. But it's just like you don't see enough firepower out of them. You're in a division with the Commanders, with the Eagles, unless the Commanders maybe take a step back this year. But the Eagles still look good. They don't look that good. Jalen Carter, you were talking about it before, Zach. I don't know what the fuck that guy was thinking. And I don't care what anyone says. That was not baiting. Like what Dak did was not, and like you got to be a professional.
Even if it was, you can't do that. Like Dak spit at the ground. Even if he was trying to send a message, say something to him, he spit at the ground. He did it in a way that was nonchalant and didn't warrant a flag. Jalen Carter, literally, you saw the spit out of his mouth and go right over Dak's shoulder pad, or maybe even hit the shoulder pad. You can't do that before the game essentially starts.
Especially right in front of the ref.
Right in front of the ref.
If it's happening in a scrum, it's no big deal. But literally, the ref was nose to nose with the two of you. It's just like, what are you doing?
And if it wasn't for that rain delay, I easily could see the Eagles losing last night. I mean, Jalen Carter's presence in the middle was missed dearly. The Cowboys, they weren't running rampant, but they were able to get some chunk runs and really rip off some like 5-6 yarders to really set the stage for Dak to take shots, to CD, to George Pickens. Those both, I think they drew 3 or 4 pass interferences last night, which set up two touchdowns for them. So this is a team that got lucky last night, the Eagles. The Cowboys outplayed them, I would say. I think the Eagles kind of got lucky with the rain delay, a fumble right into the rain delay, and then the game just kind of ended there. But the Eagles have to be more conscious of what they are, because yes, when you're running the ball effectively, you're going to be able to win the game, and you're going to just stick to that as opposed to spreading it out and looking downfield to AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. But when you're getting matched toe for toe with the opposing offense, you have to air it out a bit, and they did not do that last night, and it almost came back to bite them in the ass.
What Jalen Carter did is just
stupid.
It's an epitome, but it's like an epitome of like Nick Sirianni, right? Like you hear it all the time that like teams just embody their head coach, right? Like the Lions are, like it or not, they're Dan Campbell. They love to go for it on fourth. They're physical, and I guess we'll get into the physical part of it later because Micah had some words, or maybe that's for tomorrow's show. But they embody their head coach, right? And like that's what Sirianni is, and like for better or for worse, that's what he is, right? He's getting into fans on the side. He's getting into fights with fans. He's getting into fights with the refs. He's getting into fights with other players, and like it's really hard as an organization to tell a guy like Jalen Carter to calm it down when that's what your head coach is doing. But this is no surprise, right? Because Jalen Carter, I mean, I'm not one to like assassinate someone's character or anything, but he had that driving incident down at Georgia, and that killed one of his teammates. Now, like, wasn't directly his fault, but you were racing the kid. Like that was really you kind of hated with that kid's death. Let's call it what it is, right?
You were involved. He was involved in the kid's death,
and the Eagles knew about it. Everyone knew about it. Jalen slid in the draft, and the Eagles were like, yeah, fuck it. That's our guy. And like to an extent, it works, right? It translates because talent is talent. Like it's undeniable. But at the same rate, it leads to nonsense like that, like what you just saw. We didn't even kick off the fucking season yet, right? Like they did not run a single play on defense, and Jalen Carter was kicked. You know what? If my D tackle is going to get kicked out of the game, run after the quarterback, hit him after the throw, rip his helmet off, throw it into the crowd, beat the shit, do something that's at least going to fire the guys up. Yeah. Spitting in Dak's face is just stupid.
Yeah, I did nothing for it. I did nothing for them in it. It could have cost them the game. I mean, if it wasn't, like I said, for the rain delay and the 2 CD drops, the Cowboys, we're looking at the Cowboys at 1-0 ahead of the NFC East on September 5th. So obviously, in the grand scheme of things, that might not really come back to play too much, but it's something that the Eagles have to be aware of and correct if they want to make another Super Bowl run and be the first since the Patriots to win back-to-back Super Bowls. So
Chiefs just did it.
Oh, right? Chiefs won back-to-back. Yeah, you're right.
I have a scorching hot take here going back to the Dak Prescott stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not insanely hot, but looking at a Super Bowl defending champion in Jalen Hurts, I think Dak Prescott, or at least last night for that matter, is a superior quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I don't think that the Cowboys secondary is nothing crazy. Obviously, they have defensive problems. Every time the Eagles are on the field, they scored for the lack of in the first half at least prior to the rain delay. But the what he does, every single passing play that gets extended ends up being just a scramble drill. And you saw it last night. Jalen Hurts won that game with his legs. Air the ball out. You have two I would say elite wide receivers in A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and they were just underutilized. I think Devontae Smith had, I want to say, 6 or 7 catches, and as we know, A.J. Brown famously got 1 target last night, which hurts me because I do have him on a fantasy team, but it's just like, throw the damn ball. Play, do what you do. It's more so you're seeing, I think, Dak, I'm not going to sit here and call him a good quarterback because I don't think he's in that. Obviously, there's tiers to this in the league and everything, and I think that goes without saying. But if you look at the Eagles are a good team surrounded by a mediocre quarterback. And I don't think that Jalen Hurts is their driving force to win. Whereas you look at a team like the Bengals or the Bills, and you have an elite top-level quarterback, which is why they win, and they elevate all the people around them. I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. I think it's going to take a little bit for Dak to kind of warm up to his new receiver in George Pickens. He had a couple looks, and obviously CD had a lot of action last night. If he catches that ball at the end of the game, that's a Cowboys win straight up. But he dropped it in the breadbasket, which sucks, but whatever. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. They also while we're on the topic of the Cowboys, before we move on or do whatever, quick recommendation if you haven't watched it yet. The Cowboys documentary on Netflix about the 90s teams, very good. Highly recommended if you haven't watched it yet.
I think Dak, I do think Dak is a really good quarterback. I don't think the problem with Dak has anything to do with his ability. He's mobile. He's a relatively good decision maker for most of the season.
Got a big arm.
He's got a cannon for an arm. He's a really intelligent guy, right? You don't look at him and you're like, oh, this guy's fucking dumb as shit. He's a pretty smart guy, right? I think the problem with Dak is just the brighter those lights get is when he starts to fade. And it's like some guys handle it, some guys don't. And it's just like every single time the Cowboys have needed him to come through, whether it be in December or it be in January, he falls apart. And it's like, if it happens once or twice, you play on a bad team and you've been in the league 10 years. And, Matt Stafford, prime example, was in the league 12 years, only played in 3 playoff games in Detroit, lost all 3 of them, didn't have the best numbers in the playoffs, wasn't terrible, but wasn't the best. But you didn't really kill him for that. I mean, some asshole writers in the media did, but for the most part, you don't kill a guy like that because you know what he's dealing with, and he's only done it 3 times. But a guy like Dak, who's there every year, who's got a great O-line, who's had Ezekiel Elliott behind him, now he's got Miles. I mean, this isn't the best backfield he's had, but I think what did he start with? Was it DeMarco Murray? And DeMarco Murray had that whatever it was, 1,500-yard season, double-digit touchdowns. So he's had a lot of the pieces to win, and he's never done it. He's whatever it is, he's 1-5 or 1-7 in the playoffs in his career. Maybe he's got 2 playoff wins, but it's been so ugly in January. And that's where Dak loses me. And it's not his ability. It's not, I don't know the type of guy he is. It seems like the Cowboys seem to rally around Dak Prescott, but it's just, there's nothing there come December and January. And that's where you kind of, at this point in his career, you kind of look at him you got to do something at some point, right? Or people are going to start to talk,
I think the people are talking already.
Yeah.
I think
they've been talking.
If Lamar Jackson's not careful, he's going to find himself in the same conversation.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, but it's tough when you've won multiple MVPs. That's a tougher conversation. With Dak
Dak's
Prescott,
been in the running though. He doesn't have one, but he's been in the running multiple times.
Yeah, but not like Lamar. Lamar's got 2 to his name, and you
realistically could have had it last year. Probably should have had it last year, to be honest.
Come on now. Come on. If there was an MVP, Lamar? It was Saquon Barkley.
Should have went to Saquon. Yes, but it's a quarterback award at this point. It's a quarterback award, so
it is. But the Josh Allen and Lamar argument last year, I thought was irrelevant. You were splitting hairs at that point.
Oh yeah, 100%.
They had identical stats. Lamar had more fumbles, Allen had more picks. Like,
I think at the end of
what
the
are we
day,
doing
Lamar
here?
was probably better last year, and Josh Allen was probably better the year before. Simple as that.
Yeah. So
they both got theirs.
it's 1-1, but I agree with you, Jerry. I think that I think you had started it. I do think Lamar is going to find himself in that conversation if
100%.
If you're looking at another first round exit, and like the AFC is not a buzzsaw, right? Like the AFC is, I think, pretty weak. It's just you've got powerhouse. You've got three big powerhouses. You've got Baltimore, you've got Buffalo, you've got Kansas City.
You can throw Cincinnati in that mix.
They're not.
You could say there's three. You could say there's 3.5. They're gonna be.
They're not, and they didn't deserve to be in the playoffs last year. I don't care what anyone says. Win your games in September. September games matter as much as December games.
Fair.
Okay, you want to be in the playoffs? Stop starting seasons 1 and 3.
Like, I think that all changes tomorrow or Sunday.
I hope so, but like, you know, the Bengals, and we should get into tonight's game. I guess we'll get into that after. I've chewed a lot of time on the clock here. I'm sorry, but all these things kind of going through my head here. The Bengals are a team that they're another team that like you look at and you're like, well, you're the Cleveland fucking Browns, basically. You just have a functioning quarterback. Like that's what you are, right? You've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and they're trying to decide who to pay. Why are you paying 2 wide receivers? You can't stop a nosebleed on defense, but you're worried about paying 2 wide receivers. You can't protect the quarterback you're paying like $60 million a year for. That is literally like driving around a Lambo, never changing the oil and putting regular gas in it. It's like, why would you make that investment in the car if you weren't going to take care of the motor? And that is how the Bengals treat Joe Burrow. And like sometimes I almost say, shame on you, Joe Burrow. Like, why'd you ask for all that money? I would have been asking for another guard or another tackle before I asked for another $15 million, but that's neither here nor there. That's his money. I'm not going to pocket watch. But the Bengals have done nothing to protect him. They've done nothing to. I mean, they literally let a contract dispute with Trey Hendrickson come down to a week ago. Where like this guy told you last year at the deadline, I am not playing next year on that contract. Either re-sign me or trade me. And what did they do? Yeah, bullshit, you won't. And they did it with their first round pick this year too. They tried fucking with his contract, and it took them till whatever, the second week of camp to sign. Like, that was a guy that should have been at rookie minicamp. That was a guy that should have been around your organization from the day he was drafted. But instead, you play stupid games with these guys. Like, you're still treating this like it's 1995.
They're a cheap organization. I think they're very well known as such. I don't think they're as bad as the Browns per se, but I think they're pretty.
They are right on the edge of town. Like, you're not quite in Garden City. You still got that Uniondale address. I don't know. Maybe that sounds fucked up, but like that's what the Bengals are. Like, okay, you had your run at the Super Bowl and you almost won, and since then you've been underwhelming, and it's not your quarterback's fault. It's certainly not your quarterback's fault because
it's the GM's fault.
In my opinion, Joe Burrow's the best quarterback in football. That's the true MVP.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
He's better than Lamar. He's better than Mahomes. He's better than Josh Allen. This guy is consistent. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? Like, protect him. Give him a defense. Make him not play from behind every week. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe not playing down 15 points in the second half every week is a good idea. But
no, give him the best wide receiver 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the league. That's the solution. Make sure he can throw the ball downfield when he doesn't have more than 2 seconds in the pocket.
Let's get into tonight.
They're
playing the game in Brazil. Jesus Christ, how did the Reds score 4 runs? We are in Brazil. The Chiefs are playing the Chargers. Chiefs coming off that Super Bowl loss. Travis Kelce just got engaged. I don't. You know what? I hate myself for even just saying that. Shouldn't have even been a talking point. We're not going to make it a talking point.
It's fine.
Did the Chargers pull the upset?
No.
No.
I think I think everyone's high and mighty on. I'm going to call him the new kid in town, even though they've been around for a while. Justin Herbert has been around for a while. I know it's his Harbaugh's second season.
Great thrower,
but
thrower the ball.
I don't think they're going to be bad, but I think the Kansas City Chiefs are now playing with a chip on their shoulder, and they're coming out like they mean business. I think we're going to see a reinvigorated Chiefs team. We know that he's self-admitted it. I know I have accused him of it many times last year, and so has the rest of the media talking heads. Travis Kelce didn't come prepared into the season last year and basically essentially played himself into shape, to my understanding. And that was, I believe he self-admitted it. This year he made a joke about it. He said, I actually worked out this year and he lost weight. He did all stuff. He came into camp ready to go. I think we're going to see I'm going to call it a farewell tour. That's not a farewell tour because he's pretty vain. I feel like he's vain, but he's also not vain. But I think Taylor Swift is turning him into a vain, figurehead.
She's sucking on that vein. Someone had
it was in my head. I'm not gonna lie.
He's gonna come out. You're gonna see Travis Kelce of old, or at least as much as an older version of Travis Kelce can replicate what he had his first not first, but that dominant run for the beginning of the dynasty. Yeah, whatever it was. I think you're gonna see more of that. Yeah, you're going to see more of that. I think the Chiefs are kind of come out looking for blood. I think the Chargers are going to play well. They picked themselves up a great running back in Omarion Hampton, and I think we're going to see him run rampant, especially in a Harbaugh offense where it's going to definitely balance out with her. You're not just strictly relying on Herbert tossing the ball to whoever, fucking Keenan Allen down the field somewhere and just throwing up prayers. But now I think yeah, I know, yeah. But I think we're in store for a good game. I'm just nervous about the playing conditions in Brazil. Yeah, last year we saw it was kind of a fucking shit show, and I think this year will be no different.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I think tonight, like you said, it's going to be a good game. I think what this game for the Chargers specifically kind of hinges on is their ability to run the ball against that Chiefs defense. If Omarion Hampton can get some running room and he can find some holes, and because if he can hit a hole and gets to that second level, he's got true breakaway speed. He's someone who can hit that home run and bust a 70-yard run. Najee Harris isn't that, but he could be a good complement back. 8 to 12 carries a game where he can just kind of wear down the defense, short yardage. Really, he's not going to get you 20 plus yards, but he can get you 4-5 yards in a carry. Really beat up that defense. So. And then that opens things up to Ladd McConkey, for Keenan Allen, Will Dissly. That'll open up the passing game for Justin Herbert, who it might call me crazy. I think he's not as good as Joe Burrow, but is up there in that tier of thrower of the football. I think Joe Burrow is a great thrower of the football, personally.
I think but you were saying Justin
Herbert is a great thrower of the football. He's not in the same class as Joe Burrow, but he's in the conversation. He's in the room. He's poking his head through the door.
I think he's severely overrated, and I know, I guess he's got good numbers, but
this is a big year for him. It's a big year for him, and it's a big year for Trevor Lawrence. They both now have pieces around them where you can no longer say what they have been saying. For the past 4 years, where it's just like, oh, they're good. We have an awesome quarterback, but the pieces around him aren't doing him any favors. Now that's no longer an excuse. Also,
I don't think that. No, you can't look at the Jacksonville roster and equate that to the Chargers roster. I think you could say about Trevor Lawrence that he's got better pieces and that maybe he's in a better situation, but it's not the same roster. We're looking at the Chargers and saying, hey, maybe they could potentially challenge the Chiefs or the Broncos to win the AFC West, right? Now, I think we all look at I think most of the football world looks at the Chargers and says, at worst, they're an 8-win team. At best, they're a 13-win team, right? If things go really bad there, okay, I could see the 8 wins. For the most part, I think most of us see in the 10, 11, maybe 12 range. I don't think anybody sees the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 10, 11, 12 range. I think you could say that they will have a better season, but they have their holes. I mean, significantly bigger than the Chargers.
Yeah.
I would say this, Jerry. I'm going to piggyback on you, but I'm going to take the opposite. I'm going to have the opposite take. I think the Chargers. So the hungry part, that to me describes the Chargers, right? They really went out as embarrassingly as possible, and Herbert they went out similarly to the Lions actually last year.
Mhm.
Herbert threw 4 picks. Jared Goff threw 4 picks. Herbert played the worst game of his season in the playoffs. They lost to a lesser Texans team. I think everyone in the gambling world had the Chargers heavy, and they got killed. It was just embarrassing, right? And they're a team that knows that they're better than that. And I think, if there's anything I would say about Jim Harbaugh in that game, I feel like he kind of went away from what he did best at Michigan and what he did best all year last year. They were a ground and pound. Like Herbert made he had a lot of touchdowns, but that was a run heavy team. Jim Harbaugh's first year in LA, and obviously they were run heavy all his years in Michigan. And I feel like they went away from that in the playoff game. I think they're going to come out hot. I think they're going to come out hungry. I think the Chargers win tonight.
I agree.
I wouldn't bet on. I'm not betting on this game, but I would say the Chargers win tonight.
Yeah. I'm betting on the game just because FanDuel's feeling very generous and they're giving out free bets to basically every window of the NFL this week. I'm playing both sides of the ball here so I don't lose and I come out on top or whatever the fucking Always Sunny quote was.
I like to say on both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
So therefore I know it's good.
I'm taking the spread here. It's only 3 points. The Chiefs have a very dominant record for week 1, let alone September. I think Patrick Mahomes is like 6-1 in season openers. Andy Reid is, I think, 12-2 or something like that. And
Does somebody have a computer that's spazzing out?
It's a Discord chat. They, I think it's Zach. It's not me. And they're also typically dominant in the month of September. Obviously, starting now, it's September 5th. I like their odds here tonight. I think I don't think this is going to be the best matchup of these two teams of the season. I think you're going to get a better matchup down the line. Not too sure when that next game is.
The one thing I will say to you too, Jerry, is that this is an international game. They're playing in Brazil. It seems like none of the players are comfortable with going to Brazil.
No,
no one likes this whatsoever. The guys don't like going to London either, for the record, which I didn't know. I thought the guys did like it, but
no,
nobody likes these international.
Dude, the international games stink. You have to travel. It's a long flight, and that flight drains the fuck out of you. I went to Europe over the summer, and it's not an easy flight to do, let alone go out there 2-3 days later and play in an NFL game. Get the shit kicked out of you. And then on top of that, they're playing, I don't know what the field conditions are like in Brazil. I'm assuming it's the same as it is in London, but they're in a soccer stadium. Soccer stadiums are not built for football. It's different types of, there's a reason why the FIFA is coming into MetLife Stadium at the end of the season and totally uprooting everything in MetLife Stadium to get it fit for the World Cup this upcoming summer. It's not the same type of playing surface. It's a whole different game. They're not doing that in Brazil or Germany or England for that matter. That's why all these games always kind of suck. Line's pretty high, rightfully so, for the total points. These are two, offensive juggernaut teams, at least we can assume. But because of the playing conditions, I think this is definitely going to go under. I think the line's 48.5, maybe 47.5. I bought it up to 50 just for a little insurance, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's opening week. I don't anticipate this game being awesome. I'm also kind of sick, so I'm going to take a handful of NyQuil and go and just watch this game with the Hat Man in my corner and call it at that. But I'm going to watch every game they're throwing at me this week. That's it. I fucking stayed up through that lightning delay last night. I didn't give a fuck. It's week 1. Nice. I had to pretend to give a shit about college football on Saturday last week, and it was great. I had a great weekend of college football, but still, like, great. I love don't get me wrong. Shit. I love college football. I like my football played by men, not boys. I think it's the Northeast in me. If I'm from fucking Kentucky or Alabama or Louisiana, whatever, I care so much more about that compared to the NFL. But because where we're
what it is, we don't have any. Like
exactly.
If
I don't have a team. I watch games. Like that's we have LIU now.
If we grew up with like Hofstra still having a football program and they were good,
we would
different
story.
Shit.
Yeah, different
You know
story
what I
for
mean?
sure. But I don't have a team, and because I don't have a team, I'll jump around to matchups like Notre Dame Miami. That was sick. What was the primetime game on Saturday? I forgot. Was it LSU Clemson? That was awesome. Like there were awesome games, and there will continue to be awesome games throughout the season that I will watch on Saturdays if I'm available. But I'm not going to plan my week around it like I do for the NFL. I fucking love NFL football. I think it's the best. And even though they're starting to, I figure maybe we'll talk more about this tomorrow, but the whole red zone thing and all this stuff, and capitalism.
No, I got to take on that.
Yeah, you got to take on that. Let me guess. Oh, I don't watch red zone. Red zone's for fucking losers who don't give a shit about football.
No. False. I have 3 TVs in the basement. TV number 3. Although this week I think it'll have the Mets game on because the Mets are on at 1:40. It's a playoff push, so pennant race. However, I was in red zone on. The whole commercials thing is not as big of a deal in that it's only going to be of the 7 hour block that you get red zone. It's literally going to be 2 minutes total. So it's not the worst thing. I think for me, first of all, it's the principle. It's a subscription. Anything with a subscription, I'm under the understanding here that there are no commercials because you got my money for the subscription. I think you would have had an easier time raising everyone's price by 32 cents than telling everyone there's going to be commercials. Because as Americans, that's how we are, right? Some things are about fucking principle, right? It's the same reason why homeowners get mad when they pay a property tax for 30 years and then they turn around and sell their home and they get slapped with the capital gains tax. Well, that was the same thing. Why did I pay it twice? And it's the same thing here. I mean, we're paying for it as the consumer. This is, but the NFL doesn't care, right? Because it's a machine. It doesn't stop. And we're here talking about it, and we're gonna be here talking about it. But my point is that it's I made my point. But my second point with this, with the whole ESPN kind of partnership here, I think this is really stupid. The NFL should not be getting in bed with a media outlet, to a point where
the ownership
they have
thing.
Equity in the company. That is wrong.
Full agree.
We should not have that. Okay, now I disagree with most other people when people complain about them taking the money from gambling companies but not letting the players gamble. No, that's a pretty easy thing to do because every other league in the world does that, and they've done it successful. We could do it here too. It's not a problem. It's pretty fucking easy if you're making money to play a sport to be told, "Hey, dumbass, don't bet on the sport." That's pretty fucking easy. That's a rule we can all follow, right? We both kind of get that?
Yeah, no, definitely. Don't bet.
What I think is
we'll call it the Pete
what I
Rose
think
rule.
is
Don't bet on the
ridiculous.
sport you're playing.
What I think is ridiculous is the league getting in bed with ESPN while ESPN still has a sports book. I mean, that would be like Monday Night Football, not Monday Night Football presented by FanDuel, but we're actually just going to take equity in FanDuel and DraftKings. No, that's not something. And I'd have the same reaction if they did this with NBC, if they did this with CBS, because these are media outlets. These are news outlets. So what are you telling me? You're telling me that the next time there's a story that's bad for business in the NFL that comes across the CEO of ESPN's desk, what's he going to do? He's going to throw it away.
100%.
And I'm not saying that those things never were done before, but now it's to a point where you're really just going to throw it away, right? You're never going to. Well, the only trusted person or company we're going to have is what? Is Fox Sports? Is NBC Sports or Barstool? But they're the last to know on anything big. I mean, that's the part I don't like.
No, I'm very much in agreement. This is by definition.
This is church and state.
This is not church and state. This is a violation of the antitrust laws, in my opinion. Disney is stopping at nothing to have their hands in every single bucket of media. And I've talked in my group chat with my friends.
No, Disney, ESPN's broke. That's why they're giving equity in the company. That's why this is happening. The NFL is the big dick here, and ESPN's in the cuck chair.
It's a wild situation, and I'm surprised it's gotten to this point. But I guess the NFL wanted to get their hands in a fairly lucrative conglomerate in Disney, and they have, and it muddies the waters, especially with ESPN having their own sports book, something that we spoke about earlier. Matt.
The ESPN sportsbook's fucking trash, though. I think they have like 10 users.
Nah, they get a lot of users.
What is the NFL getting in return here, though? Like, is there going to be
an
increase?
So.
No, I know that. I know that. And that does go a long way. But is there going to be like an increased fucking?
Oh, and by the way,
like NFL
you know what this means for all of you too that cut the cord and never got cable? Get ready to get cable because this Disney package that's going to include ESPN and it's going to include all these things. It's bringing you right back to what your cable price was. So I would advise all of you to do as I did in 2022 and get yourself cable. Because you'll end up saving money. Trust me.
Or have parents who still have cable and use their login like I do.
Yes.
Shout out Larry. Thank you very much.
But, I mean, one way or the other, like, if you're a fan of college football, the NFL, baseball, and let's say hockey or the NBA, you can't have just Hulu.
WWE is going to be on fucking ESPN now, too.
Yeah.
Netflix, too. Isn't Raw on Netflix?
Raw's on Netflix, yeah. But all the pay-per-views are going to be on ESPN now on that premium whatever fucking platform.
ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
Netflix, I believe, according to Joe Rogan, it seems like Netflix is getting UFC.
Really?
I guess their deal with ESPN was it? It expired, and now they can start talking to other companies.
Interesting.
And it seems like Netflix is going to make a heavy push. And for the record, like I don't mind. Like they're playing this game on YouTube. I think YouTube's fine to put a game on. Like I think if it's something that the vast majority of people have, like. Anyone could go on YouTube. This game was free to watch, right? So, like, I have no problem with this, right? Like, make it easier. Someone had said to me once, like, 2 clicks. Make it 2 clicks, right? So, like, if it's YouTube, make me click on my internet icon, click on my YouTube icon, and make it the first thing, right? Make it the first thing I see. Okay.
Yeah, I literally just went to YouTube.com. It is on top.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm watching the play right now. It's literally right there.
I have no problem with the Amazon games because, like, if you don't have an Amazon account, someone has an Amazon account. Very easy.
And if you don't have an Amazon account, get an Amazon account. It's like $10 a month, you get free shipping and great deals on
Netflix. I feel like most adults have Netflix, but like anything else, like a Paramount game, is kind of stupid. Not a lot of people have Paramount or whatever. Is Paramount's the CBS?
Paramount Plus? Yeah, Paramount Plus is just. The Fox games you can only get on Fox. There's no like streaming
Fox and
service
Fox
for that.
Sports, I believe.
Yeah, but that's just straight up like again. I get that through Larry's cable, whatever. Like they have an app, but in order to, I guess you could pay for it, but in order to watch it, you kind of basically need your cable subscription. The Paramount Plus, same thing with those games. They're just kind of mirrors of the regional windows that you'll get on Sundays. But the thing is with those two is that that's regular TV. You can, if you have a television. There is I never figured it out, but those channels 2 and 5 by law, by the FCC or whatever, are like legally required to be available to you free of charge. Like that's just basic rights in broadcasting. So you'll be able to watch those games somehow, some way. I don't know how to do it, but you can do it without any sort of subscription.
You need an antenna. You need an antenna in your.
I think a lot of the smart TVs have it built in.
I think that happened during Obama's presidency, and I don't know what it was. But the antennas are like, I can't tell you how many antennas I've cut off houses
really
this summer. Yeah, the antenna doesn't do anything anymore. Everything is like fiber optic cables and shit. There's no getting TV via an antenna. And I don't have a good reason for you, but
that is a thing now.
A lot of my customers, that's like the first thing whenever I get to a house to power wash. I'm like, oh, you still using that antenna? You want me to cut it off? And that's a quick couple $100 I could make climbing up a ladder, praying I don't fall.
That's
you're talking about satellite dishes?
No,
the antennas, the ones that.
Yeah, they're like a, I don't know,
like a coat hanger that you unravel and like pointing in direction.
They're like a chimney.
Those are from like the 70s.
No, but
I know people that were still using them.
Yeah, there were people still using it in the 2000s.
Huh. Didn't know that.
Hey, apparently you didn't have to pay for cable, so.
Yeah, well, no, it was basic cable. It was like channels 2 through 10.
Yeah,
it got you up to like
national broadcast channels. Yeah.
Yeah. Eagles signs Darius Smith today. D end, last played with the Lions last year. I would say they could use as much help as they could on the D line. I didn't see any other moves made today. Elijah Vera Tucker, that sucks for the Jets losing him.
Yeah.
That's a really big loss.
Is it? I mean, I thought it was, and then Facino went on. I wish he was here. Hopefully, we'll get him next week and we can do the whole thing. But he went on a whole Twitter rant about how AVT actually sucks and this is good and the Jets got better. And I'm inclined to believe him just to make myself feel better. But yeah, it does suck because I want to talk very in detail about the Jets tomorrow's show. But I thought our O-line looked tremendous in the one preseason game I watched against the Packers. And you could definitely tell it's going to be a step up from last year. But hey, next man up. We'll see what happens.
I think the Jets and the Giants will both be better than last year.
So do I.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about Justin Fields leading that offense. I mean, we'll see what happens. But
That's
Garrett,
my guy.
Yeah, that's your guy. Garrett Wilson has been disappointing at times, even with good quarterback, solid quarterback play. I don't say good quarterback play, solid quarterback play, and we'll see what happens. You know, Justin Fields, I'm not sold on. I don't think he's the answer there, and I'm assuming that's not the long-term answer.
You're underestimating at least what I'm going to tell again, this is how I trick myself into it. You're underestimating the Ohio State connection. They had a sweet that I think he caught for 1,500 yards the year they won the national championship or something like that.
A little bit of breaking news. Xavier Worthy was just taken out of the game in Brazil.
Oh, fucking fantastic.
After some friendly fire. I think him and Travis Kelce collided.
Oh, get the fuck out. Another friendly fire injury? Jesus Christ.
But he walked out on his own power, but he has a towel over his head, so.
All right.
That's got to be terrible.
That's not great.
I'll be honest with you. If I'm Worthy, I don't think I'm going to a Brazilian hospital. I think I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
And he's walking on his own, so
there's no way I'm going to one of those hospitals. Like that's like, well, in another country, I'm not going to your hospital. Like there's like very few countries I visit where I'm like, I feel pretty good if I break my leg here. Like,
I feel you there. I feel you.
Brazil's not. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like one of those places. Also, another thing about Brazil that I've noticed just looking at this crowd. Somebody else on the Chiefs was hurt. That guy came down hard. A lot of these women in the stands are either just like drop dead gorgeous or heinous looking.
Yep, that's Brazil for you.
There's no like sixes in the crowd. It's like 4s and 10s, and that's it. And it's kind of wild to see. A lot of these people got big ass ears too.
Let's see what happens here.
What else? We have anything else on anything yesterday? Anything tonight?
No, I'm good till tomorrow, baby.
Zach,
be sure to tune back in. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Zach, you're not gonna be around tomorrow. Do you have anything to add today?
I will not be around tomorrow, but I wanted to just touch on my Giants real quick. The offense I think is going to be leave some to be desired. You hope Russell Wilson can lead the charge and find Malik Neighbors and he stays healthy through a full game. But the key to that game is just having your defense keep you in that game. If the defense keeps you in that game where you can chunk off, get some points and make this a competitive game, I'd be extremely happy. And, just try not to get Russell Wilson killed tomorrow with maybe some of the worst offensive line play in the league. On Sunday, especially with Andrew Thomas now most likely missing Sunday's game while recovering from a Liz Frank injury from last year. So we shall see what happens. I am cautiously optimistic about this team. I think they're going to be much better than they have been over the past few years. And I'm excited for Jackson Dart. I'm excited for just the offense as a whole after he takes over, and then especially the defense with the additions of Abdul Carter to that defensive front. And it's probably going to be one of the best front sevens in all of football, in my opinion. They're gonna be tough against the run. They're gonna get after the pass rusher. I mean, you have someone in the inside in Dexter Lawrence. You have 2 guys on the outside. You even have 3 with Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe not as consistently as Brian Burns and Abdul from the outside, but he can still get after the quarterback. So this is going to be a tough challenge for opposing quarterbacks. And if they're not going to give time for them to look downfield, it's going to make the cornerbacks look even better and maybe even get settled in and more comfortable into the league. And you can see Deonte Banks maybe start to take some steps forward in his progression through his career. And hopefully he can be a little bit more of what we drafted at the back end of the first round, I guess 2 years ago now at this point. So I'm just looking for positive momentum because over the past few years, it seems like every time they took a step forward, they take 2 steps back. Let's just keep moving forward as opposed to
well, this is a make or break year for Shane and Dable.
I'd say more so Shane than Dable. I think most GMs would come in and fire the coach too, but I think there's a chance Dable could stick.
But here's the thing: is that it's even if Dable's like, if this team wins 5 games and somehow, or let's say they win 8, they don't make they win 9, they don't make the playoffs. Shane gets fired. Let's just say, right? Mm-hmm. Which I think if they win 9 games, I think Shane and Dable are not losing their jobs. But argument's sake, if Shane loses his job, they bring in another GM. Even if Dable's not fired, then he's getting fired next year unless they go on some miraculous playoff run and they're in the divisional round. Like, it's the same deal that Jim Caldwell got in Detroit. Like, when they brought in Bob Quinn, ownership wanted to keep Jim. Bob did not. So it was like, okay, we're going to give you a year. And what did he do? He went 9-7 and lost his job. So, like, that's going to be one of those things. Like, and it's so stupid because if you're hiring a GM, let that guy pick his guy. Like, it's a package deal. If the GM takes the job and says, yeah, I'll give him a year, then okay, great. But, like, these ownership groups and, like, I don't know, the Maras are pretty stubborn. John Mara has not done right by this organization in a long time. So it wouldn't shock me if that were the case.
I think you see Jackson Dart under center by week 6. I think they're itching to play him. And I think
he looked good. He looked good in the preseason.
He looked phenomenal.
Looked very good. I think the more time you can give him, the better. I mean, I'm not I'm not going to sit here and compare Jackson Dart to Patrick Mahomes, but I don't think this would have necessarily affected what Patrick Mahomes is today, but it definitely helped him a lot sitting and waiting behind Alex Smith that full year and not have to feel the pressure.
I think the biggest thing that you could do for a guy is not getting him killed.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to throw him out there, he shouldn't be getting sacked 4 times a game. Like, if you're throwing him out there, he should be given a shot here, like to actually read a defense, not take the snap and run for his fucking life.
Yeah.
So, this game moves quickly. I agree with you, Zach. I think in an ideal situation with any quarterback, you're better off sitting for at least half of your first year. That is the best thing you could do. But,
at least, especially with how the Giants' offensive line looks.
It's not the worst thing throwing a guy out there, but it just don't throw him out there to get fucking killed. I mean, that's my whole thing. I had something to piggyback on what you were saying, Zach, and I don't.
Was it about Abdul Carter?
No, it was before you got into the Giants. And okay. Going forward, so for the Sunny Days Media Football Show, I don't know about a Thursday show. It's going to be tough week to week. If you guys could do it, and I can't take the login and go with it.
Sounds good.
It looks like we are going to be transitioning from a Sunday morning show to a Saturday night show, and we'll retweet everything in the morning so you guys can all see it. It's just it's tough with I got a kid, Facino. Facino's 2 weeks out from his kid being born. A lot going on, especially with my job and all of our work schedules are kind of counteracting each other, and it's just hard. So it seems like the easiest thing for all of us are these weekend night shows. And as I said, we're gonna retweet them, and we'll be taking a look at where the views are and what the audience is, whatever audience we've got kind of wants to see or when they want to see it. But it's probably easiest for all of us to be doing this Saturday nights, and then if we can get in a weekday, that would be great.
Mhm.
But
Definitely.
so that's what I would say. Going forward, anticipate Saturday nights to be when we'll be going live.
Yeah,
and-
just simple, and maybe we could do a Thursday show before the game that recaps Monday night, previews Thursday night, and then Saturday or Friday preview the weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works out. Stay tuned to the socials.
Yeah.
We'll be sure to
exactly.
blast everything out there, and once they're recorded, they don't go away. I don't think so.
Exactly.
Like you said, we'll
On
blast
Sunday
everything
night,
out.
Yep. So, all right, Jerry, you got anything?
Nope.
All
Tune
right.
in tomorrow night. We'll be back on here, and we'll give you some more action going into Sunday.
Sounds good. I'll try to join in on the comments, and
It's not letting
even
me
though I won't be in
escape
the
here.
show.
Is anyone else, Jerry? Are you able to end the
show?
End the show?
No, because I'm not logged in. I can leave the studio.
Yeah, sweet. Doesn't help. Nope. Oh, there we go. End the stream.